so that, I feel like that's where it starts. And so, you know, that's also, you know, when we ask them to pick up a shift, giving them everything, taking that time to read every single thing about that client. They know exactly what they're getting into, and so they're not getting set up for failure. We send them into the house, they can't transfer, then they feel like a failure and they quit. And so, to me, it's just taking all that extra time to make sure you're sending somebody.
You call or text or just call?
We call on that because it's just a you know, a personal thing, and you know, just how are you doing? And again, I have the, you know, Pam. She's real dingy, like she's a ding dong. I wouldn't really trust her to do a whole lot of stuff, but she's the sweetest person ever, right, Craig? I mean,
she got great. She's a VA liaison too. They love her at the VA.
Her best, like they're her children. She loves them. And she will literally do anything in this world for me. So if a caregiver wants to talk about their baby daddy or their electricity getting cut off, she's helped people get glasses. You know, I don't think you can see out of your glasses, but call this place right here and they can get you hooked up with a free eye exam and dental work, whatever it is. She has all these resources because she lives that life. And so she knows exactly who these people can call. So she's the mother of everybody in health. So that's how I feel like that's how we're successful in keeping people, is we invest in our caregivers. No, God.
Not the scheduler.
No. She panics so bad about disappointing a client. She does it on call. And so I've had to rein her in because every single time she's so desperate to cover shift. We'll give you a $25 gift card, or we'll da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, you can't quit giving all of our money away because, you know, we've got to try. You know, but she won't sleep when she's on call. Like, that's how conscientious she is. But she won't let me take it from her because she needs the money. So, kind of a special situation. But anyway, the other thing is, too, since I've been there, and this has happened, I've only lost 2 clients because they weren't happy with our services. Sure, people have died, they can't afford us anymore, you know, they moved in with their kids, whatever, but I've never, until recently, this happened in 2021, have I had somebody call and say, I'm not happy with your services, I'm not happy with your office, I'm not happy with the caregivers, I'm not happy with your services. 2 times in 4 years. And so that is because I feel like we are so good to our caregivers. We don't pay them anything more. They usually get paid $9 to $10 an hour. But if they pick up a shift, if they pick, you know, we get accommodation on them. We let them come into the office. I have like this big, you know, bookcase type thing. There's lotions, there's gift cards, there's whatever. There's just a variety of things, candles, and they can come in, take whatever they want out of there, and they love that because it's something they may not be able to buy for themselves. Not like dog stuff, like bath and body candles, you know, $25 candles. So it may not be something that they can afford for themselves, but it's all luxury stuff that, you know, they may or may not get. The other thing I do is constantly monitor zip lists, whether it's when I'm in bed. I don't open them first thing because I feel like the scheduler needs to see, you know, the initial texts that come in. But I look at it and to make sure we don't have, you know, I'm not treating somebody ugly. So I'm not going to read the whole text, but I do want to give you an example of what happened just the other day. So we don't get a lot of good caregiver new ones, you know. So the girl said, I'm going to look for another job. So I said, hey, Karen, this is Linda, the director of Visiting Angels. I understand that you may be looking for another job. I hate to hear that. May I ask why? She goes on to explain she has kidney stones. She doesn't feel like she didn't tell our scheduler cares. She feels like she's just trying to cover shifts and fill spots. I don't want to quit, but I feel like basically we didn't care about her. So even after, you know, over 3 years of coaching Chantel, she's still going to she's going to get mad because she can't cover a shift. And that's one thing I've had to push myself on. It's not our caregiver's fault that we are short-staffed. It's not their fault. So we can't take it out on them. So I basically said, I'm very sorry this happened. You know, we've had an unusually stressful week. You're not obligated to go to a client that you can't handle, blah, 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 blah. And So let us try to find you shifts that you can better handle right now until you're 100% better. Please give us another chance. Chantel's very efficient at her job. Please let us know what you like to do. Karen still works for us. And Karen was going to quit. And Karen's a great caregiver. Karen's good. But she's still with us. We found things for her to do. So I try to, if you guys are teaching moments to tell Chantel, okay, you're frustrated that you don't have somebody to cover this client. So now you've lost another caregiver, and so it's going to make covering shifts even harder. She is the one person I feel like I'm constantly having debates with because her personality, where she's from, the stressfulness of being a scheduler, and so, but I still take these opportunities to try to, salvage things that I can, so.
I've heard a few different people mention it, Zip Whip. I don't use it.
I brought that out of my mind. That's a texting platform. It's, as a matter of fact, someone who's using it loves it. Will do a better job. Linda, tell us what Zip Whip is.
Okay, Zip Whip, and I'm going to show you on my phone. So Zip Whip is every time we hire a new caregiver, it goes in this app. Okay, so every single caregiver's in here, their name, their phone number.
Did you have to enter them, or does it like sync up somehow?
It syncs. But when you add somebody or take somebody out, you have to
remove them.
You have to remove them and manually enter them. So let's say you're trying to cover a shift. We'll say group text. So we have to have, because it can only hold so many people.
Sure.
So we have caregiver 1, caregiver 2. So like yesterday, group text. We have 6 shifts to fill today, and then we tell them what it is. Please text or call if you can help. So you're sending it to all. We don't have many caregivers. We have 68, but I mean they've all been there a long time, but. We send it to everybody, and it's just the way things go these days. They can't use this tool to text on sick. They can't use it, to whatever, but it's our way of communicating.
It's another avenue. It's another resource. You can download it to your desktop so you can type text also, and it's great for documentation as well. I mean, when we had that wrongful discrimination claim, we just sent the text of a screenshot of everything. Zip, it was like our call log, and it saved our tail on that.
Yeah.
So
Because it never goes, well,
Yeah, yes.
we had the lead-in one because the client said she didn't send the caregiver home. I remember seeing the text, the caregiver doesn't work for us anymore. But I remember seeing the text, so all we had to do was go in there and text her something random, even though we had already taken her out.
And then she replied back, and then
it all pulled back.
Well,
That is.
Access Care, you can text from Access Care. So why Zip Whip?
Yeah. It's it used to not be two-way, but now it's two-way, right?
You do open shifts. Are you talking about the chat, or are you talking about
Like when you're sending open shifts to
Okay.
caregivers.
So this is just like if Zip Whip is a
Phone.com
replacement.
also can do it.
Yes, if you use phone.com for texting, that is the same as Zip
I
Whip.
got one office that does, and like my Birmingham office does not do any. I mean, they're hey hun, and they're texting directly, but I like
The one
yeah.
thing,
and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zip Whip takes the replace of that, and your users can see all of it. So I can see every text that's happening from every
Exactly.
caregiver to every,
That's a big.
and no one
Me and
has,
everybody
personal
sit, the girls in the
numbers.
office.
yes.
I
you
love
set it up
that.
way.
Yeah.
And no one has anybody's personal numbers, no hanky-panky can be going on.
What do you mean, no personal numbers? I'm texting
No
their
personal.
No personal cell phones.
You're
It comes
using
from,
Zip Whip.
like,
It comes from
The office phone number.
Caregiver have a Zip Whip, or is it texting their personal cell?
Texting their phone.
Yes.
Okay.
From the
The
office.
office number.
So that's part of our orientation, which I'm sure she'll talk about. It's on there. You will get text from this number. You can call or text this number, but you can't text off sick on this number. But I can go in there and read exactly what somebody's, trying to call off, or exactly, again, back to customer service, how we relate it to somebody or our reaction to somebody. And that's, again, caught by the invite.
The office does.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can read it.
Didn't get offered up with so much.
you can do calls,
Oh, that's
messages.
what it is.
No, they can't.
Oh, this one
Okay.
is
It's like you
Sure.
texting them.
So,
Download that.
when I go
Then
in to Zip Whip, I
she
generally
messages
want
off
to
and
click
put
right
no
off the
she needs
bat
to clock
because
in
it's
this
usually
morning.
something that I
Everything
would
here,
so I know
anything
that they're waiting for
communication.
something from either Chantel or Cam. So I don't mess with it because I don't want it to
Zip
be a
Whip.
mess.
Right.
But I'll, like, in the
If
evening,
you
I'll sit
are
there
familiar
and,
with phone.com,
read through these
stick with
texts,
it.
like,
Well, I don't.
I'm just
trying to make the office
educated.
more
yeah.
efficient.
Make them use this
It's
for,
a call log. It's like its own call log.
One other thing is you can
It calls.
but yeah.
We have a really good ratio.
Happy birthday
come up.
And we were doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this platform failed so many times that they tried to initiate it, and then Zipwhip came along.
Yeah,
We left Chrome.com.
Now this is done right, but I do, like, if you'll go back, have your office send out a message, you know, on that repair, when you go out and send that all message right here.
Right down here at the bottom, there's a little.
You have your stuff set up in groups.
And you click on it, and you
I
can
don't
actually
think so.
edit it.
So like when you go into profile, let's just say Chrissy, I don't know. It's got all these names.
Have your event, have the anniversary.
Oh, yes.
Thinking of you.
Or thank you, or I follow up, thank you for coming in to interview today. Like, it's a good way to just stay in touch with the caregiver.
Because to his question, you know, we'll call somebody for an interview and they won't answer the phone, but the minute we text them, hi, this is Isabella from Visiting Angels. You applied on Indeed.
With all those
Yep.
Would you like to schedule an interview? Text that.
clients, with
Yes. They won't answer, we zip whip them sometimes, so.
So that is, the other way that we will.
Office number.
changing
Uh-huh, yeah.
for communication.
So we have someone's asking about cost of it. I think it's like $50 a month. I think their rates we have like 6 or 7 offices. When I met them at a conference in 2019, I think it's a great idea. If y'all are interested in it, we can think about grafting it in the discounted rate. But I think a lot of people you guys love it, don't you? And Claudia, College Station, and then Midland, y'all using it?
I have it right there. Home.com.
That's
That's voice
you
note.
know,
Yeah.
This right here.
Yes, yeah. Shirley-Ann's gonna talk about that, yes, during her caregiver discipline.
Gotta be awesome to get this,
Mhm.
but if if I were to reply,
Mhm.
the other two girls don't care about this.
Yes, well, we're on the 2019 deal. I think
You had all iPhones.
I bet we could get it down if other offices want it to be about.
Got one girl with a droid.
But that's what
Audrey, are you interested in exploring that? Okay. Yeah.
Who do we go to, like, for
120 a month.
I don't know. Leanne.
What's your recommendation for, is there half of it?
Yeah, Jay Dillinger was my rep in 2019. I don't know if she's still around, but I can, we're gonna explore that, like, this week.
And not getting unemployment, or not paying out unemployment, for you to do one caregiver.
I'm curious,
Better than phone.
real quick show of hands, what we're kind of selling Zipwhip for Zipwhip, but from what you've heard, who would be interested by a show of hands in getting it? One,
If
two,
we can get a bulk discount, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so we can add like 4 to our group of 6 or 7. We'll see if we can't grab you guys.
Sharpen the pencil.
$50.
To me, it was every single penny, because I fought it for
Mine would possibly be 4
2
and
years,
4.
and Leanne talked
Oh,
me
yeah,
into it when
okay.
people started working from home.
Jeremy, I let Jeremy do his own, but Lynn would potentially do it.
And she can still be efficient, and that's, you know, she has her computer, she has her
Efficient's what
laptop,
I'm thinking.
and so she doesn't have to text from her personal cell phone. And plus, I can read later in the day exactly, and I could text her this morning, why are there so many open shifts today? Like, you know, who called in or what's going on? And so that is the greatest thing ever. The only downside, which I don't wanna, the only thing on Leanne's presentation, but there's a balance between over texting when they start texting out. So that's the only concern, and you have to coach that probably on the front end during orientation.
I mean, it's even like, one thing is it,
Our problem is they'll text out and then when we call them, they're like, I'm not calling. I mean,
But it's only going to the office phone number, and so no one else is seeing that except for those who are attached to, what, maybe I'm missing the question.
So like, let's say you text a caregiver and they text you back with the client's name and.
you don't use a name, you put a client or Mrs. B or Mrs. D.
Yeah,
So
but
like,
you can't
you
control
can
what they
control what
say.
the caregiver sends back to you, and all the time where they, and you can tell them something to face.
just like, don't text me to clock off.
Yeah, I think, kind of set the expectation, day
Because they
one.
do, I mean.
I know.
You know, you teach HIPAA in the hospital and you're telling doctors, you're gonna go to jail. I'm not, you are.
Right.
Nothing's perfect. You
So
know, but-
client's not perfection.
Yeah, the
It's
reason
the line we have to walk.
And the reason I asked about that is because when I was in higher education, we couldn't use it because it wasn't purpose, which is the federal equivalent to HIPAA.
Okay.
So, and it was determined by our legal and subsequently industry
That's right, yes.
And also, when I went through a full audit a month ago, and he didn't ask me about this, so I figured he didn't ask about any of that, he didn't care, so I figured.
I was deficiency free a year ago, and I did.
Know it and use it so well.
How we, she asked how we communicate with our caregivers on Maven. I showed her Access Care, the platform, and then phone.com, and she said that's a great way of being able to communicate with them.
I know.
I didn't get pushback on HIPAA. We were violating because we were using the software and a texting app, so.
Plus, if you think about it, every caregiver has access to on their phone, and so before they go to a client, they can pull it up on their phone. We can't stop them from, that's our encouragement to read about your client. So if they leave their phone on their Access Care with the client's name and information, like, I just feel like we can't police all of that, so.
Right.
To me, it's not worth it to me to worry about a minor, please don't talk about the client's
Yeah,
data.
I agree.
mean, Chantel is, our scheduler she is from Home Health Hospice, so she is very, very, very,
Overly,
anal about a lot of
yes.
stuff. She doesn't even think caregivers should get dropped off at work, like to a client's house, because that goes against HIPAA.
No,
They need to drop them down the street.
It's
But
not.
she's from Michigan.
unless,
In
it's not,
Michigan.
unless they have identifiable PHI that goes along with the address. The address itself is not a HIPAA violation.
It's just funny because she's like, well,
Okay.
I've gotten her off that ship, it's taken me 3 years.
That when her boyfriend goes in and cooks some dinner.
I have this company, and so,
Not a great idea.
How come, no, we lost Susie, her boyfriend.
Maybe they're a
I'm
family
like, hang on,
member.
what'd you say?
And I'm like, the Ubers don't know where they're going.
Get out.
So that's my skill. I handle it a little bit different, putting the client, the office staff, the caregivers first, the client second.
But you do a great job of customer service and client retention. Clients who've even privately hired a caregiver, we told them it's a bad idea, and they still come back to you after they privately hired the caregiver.
Yeah, because I will literally go over there and say, okay, what are you gonna do when she quits? Because that is just the nature of this business. She's gonna quit.
That's right.
You have
You're just saving
yeah,
money,
you
but
have nothing,
no backup.
So he gave me the $10,000 check. I said, when she quits, I will credit this back, the months that we're missing. Within 2 weeks, she had quit, walked out on him, taken things from him. So I did. I honored my word. $10,000 back towards his account. But I will go over there. And that's the other thing too. When a client has an issue or, they do want to stop services, mostly because they can't afford it anymore, I will call them, and just say, we understand this is expensive. Because Craig gets mad at me. But I'm always honest up front. Like, even in case conferences, I'm like, I know this is expensive. To the average person, this is not something they can afford. 24-hour care, for example, who has 14 grand a month, So I acknowledge that this is expensive. And so we have to give them their money's worth. And that's by not sending them, and we've hired people that are not visiting Angels material. I've let them all go because our reputation to me is everything. So I would rather not take a client or pay 40 hours of overtime, don't listen to me, 40, 50 hours of overtime and keep our reputation than run our reputation by hiring somebody that's not visiting Angels material. And I think y'all all know what that is. Just tattoos everywhere, face piercings everywhere, and different colored hair and all this stuff. I can't hire people like that in Amarillo, Texas. If y'all live in a local city, maybe that will fly, but not Amarillo, Texas. And so that saves us too from having to do constant client checkups, going over there, always having to, make sure everything's okay because we try to get it right the first time. And that to me fixes itself. And then that way we can spend time doing other things. And so that is my spiel.
I was just going to add, excellent, thank you for sharing that. I was just going to add one thing about the team retention. You've done a great job of coaching, and we've had to put people on probation and coach them up and see if they responded, and they've responded. And so just want to add that it's okay to put people and set expectations if they're not performing, like what Michael talked about yesterday. We clear the expectations, if not hit expectations, then we need to kind of put together a plan to get there.
But to me, I'm probably, I think I looked at your thing, I'm like a sympathetic bleeding heart person or whatever. So I've kept a girl, like I said, the ding dong, I love her, she will literally do anything for Disney Angels, she believes in what we do. So I tolerate a lot of stuff from her, because I know no matter how mad she is at me, or how mad she is at Chantel, how mad she is at the world, she is 100% going to love these clients like her own parents, grandparents, whatever. So I tolerate a lot. So I feel like every office needs a strong arm, and every office needs a heart. And, I can't hire 2 bleeding hearts and 2 heart outs. I can't. Because
Well said. It's true, though.
You can't, because when, this person makes this person mad, I gotta have somebody that can go in there and kind of soften it. And usually that person's me, but still, I try to teach them how to handle that for themselves. But I couldn't run an office with 3, scheduler has to be, So, you have to be kind of tough.
Sure.
And I can't have 3 tough people, 4 tough people. I have to have that. To me, it's more important to have somebody with a heart than somebody with a skill set. I'm lucky that I have both. And so I just feel like those girls know. Talking about things that we do for them, I'll take them to lunch sometimes, but a lot of times it's text, hey, Pam, meet me at the top 10 nails on this place, and I'll sit down with her, we'll have a pedicure. Or text Chantel, hey, Chantel, meet me for lunch here. It's not making a big deal about it to everybody in the office. It's my one-on-one time with them, and I do that every single month with one of them. Or like yesterday, I went to Magnolia, or day before yesterday, and I picked out something for each of them, and they held down the same today. And so that to me is just, and I tell them, I'm not shy about it. Thank you. Every morning, every Monday morning, thank you for caring about this business as much as I do. And they like me, I think.
They wouldn't work for you if they didn't.
And they do tell me, you're the best person I've ever had.
And if it's like a rough on-call, if it's a beat-down on-call weekend, I mean, you'll get them a gift card or get them.
Yeah, like, if it's even a bad Friday, like a couple Fridays ago, you can go on Amazon, get an e-gift card, send it to their email, and I'm like, hey, Chantel, I know you had an awful week. I really appreciate everything you've done. Send that email with the gift card attached. They don't want to, and I said this on a call, I don't think they want to go out and eat with me, but they can take their husband or their wife, or their husband, or their kid, or their friend, or whatever out to eat. And that's just a little appreciation for them to, every Monday morning I bring Starbucks. I mean, I probably have a huge Starbucks bill, but, I know exactly what they want. It's saved in my phone. Every Monday morning, they get to bring Starbucks before our meeting. And so, to me, that is where it all starts for me. And I wish I could balance better the customer service and the marketing, but our hours are okay, and they stay pretty consistent around 2,300. I want to get higher, but I just can't let go of the customer service part, I guess, because it's just ingrained in my brain. So, anyway. Okay.
So, we started something when I started with Visiting Angels, that no client goes without care, and even on the weekends. So when we have someone on call and someone calls out, she'll either have someone, if it's a 24-hour, she'll have someone stay a little bit longer and try to staff it, or if she can't find anyone, she will go work that shift.
Yeah, we do that.
Is that what y'all do in your office?
Absolutely. And last weekend, Chantel and I were both at a client because they both required a skill set that we couldn't send a babysitter. So she went to one and I went to the other, and we found coverage eventually. And it's not ideal. It doesn't happen a lot. But, these 80-hour, 100-hour caregivers, they're tired and they're not going to always say yes to us. And so we just do what we have to do. And so, for Chantel for doing that last weekend, and then of course I came out of town, I'll probably take on call from her next weekend, just for the weekend, just to say thank you. I mean, I'm blessed. I don't ever have to do on call. Of course, we're always on call, but
yeah.
I have 2 girls who are on call, rarely call me, rarely bother me. So that is also another nice thing I do for them. You've had an awful week. Let me have the phone. Well, I just, but you know what I'm saying. You get the drift. Just put the phone onto my phone number. I'll take care of on call. I did it for Easter weekend for Chantel because she's had to work every day. She was done, and I don't want her to quit. So,
prevent burnout. Try to see it before it comes.
You should get the wrong people that can take advantage of their kindness, or the wrong people who Doesn't appreciate it, but I'm blessed to have the office staff is everything. So, in treating them like your customers is everything.
Is there another question somebody's gonna ask? I thought I saw another hand over here. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that is my
I don't know, it's
feel,
great.
and that's how I run my office, and so I feel like with her marketing skills and my operation skills, man, we would roll. It's not saying you're not good at customer service, I'm just saying, if I'm so diligent at marketing, I would be in good shape, but I'm just.
You have 3 in your office, you have 3.
Yeah, and then the third one's new, just because, you know, it's a full-time job trying to hire caregivers. While we do have good retention, I mean, people, you know, get older or burned out and they leave, and so you're constantly needing to replace, you know, people, but I would say 75% of our caregivers have been with us for at least 2 years.
Huge.
So,
You saying that sentence, it's not our caregivers' fault that we don't have enough caregivers, is a fantastic sentence. Because I need that reminder, you know, because again, we're so focused on trying to get these shifts filled, and these caregivers say, well, I don't want to work. They could be tired, they could have, you know, we don't know every aspect of their life. I need to be reminded, you know, I need to take a breath and realize, because I don't, you know, I'm tired from working 60, 70 hours a week, you know, so thank you for saying that, because I need that reminder.
and that, you know, I have to remind the staff again every week, and I remind myself, and remind everybody that that is not their burden.
Yes.
And so,
I'm taking that back, that's the
if
first thing
they,
I learned.
you know, of course they're gonna call in sick, we're working them to death.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't get mad. I mean, I had a girl call in Monday, she called in tired. I've never had a caregiver call in tired, because she was like, I'm done, I'm tired, I can't go. She worked 80 hours last week. She was like, I can't do it, I'm getting sick, I feel like crap, I need a day off. And so, we have to respect that, even though she said it's in a mind, even though you volunteer to pick up the hours, like, that's all the things that you want to say, but you can't say those things. That is like, you have to have a filter. You have to have empathy, and you have to understand that, you know, they are doing the best they can just like we are. And so,
Good perspective.
really very, very little drama in Amarillo, Texas. So, I try to be low drama office, and so that's just kind of how I, you know, run things. So, thanks for asking me to talk.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome. Great job, Linda.
Now
Thank
she's gonna
you.
come me up with her fancy slideshow.
But before we, yeah, no, I thought that was great, Linda. There's a little bit of discussion on here. I'm not incredibly familiar with the phone.com texting feature. We're talking about that versus ZipWhip. Someone used phone.com and love it. But okay, what, is it working?
We use it all the time, every day.
Okay.
We use Access Care, I'm sorry, we use Access Care.
Are you using phone.com, Bo? And for texting?
I would say it works, but it sounded like ZipWhip may be better, because a lot of times, like, if my scheduler sends a message, I can't see everything she sends unless I log in.
Can you not do group? Can you not do group?
That's the thing about this, an app, and so it's so easy to, you don't have to log into Access Care or your computer or anything, you can just literally.
It's always with you on your desktop, laptop, smartphone. Yeah, your Apple Watch, if you have an Apple Watch. You can see the whole, it's like a real-time call log, you're just seeing it happen.
We both text from our cell phones, so we have to be the same extension.
So there's blind spots with phone.com is what I'm hearing.
Reply, but I can't see
I just
my
don't-
scheduler said, or.
I just don't
Okay.
have those issues with phone.com. I see everything. I have it on my personal phone. I can call. I see the faxes that come in. I see what my personnel just asked her in the office. I don't have the problem with it. I mean, you just have to make sure that your stuff is set up right. I mean, I've used it for almost 3 years. The first year was crappy.
But they've made some enhancements.
Hanging out over here with a fax for 30 minutes, but, I mean, now it's fine. I don't have a problem with faxing.
They've done some troubleshooting, I think.
So that error
I'm
message
gonna
that
take
comes
that,
up says an error has
extension back. I
occurred,
didn't know
please
that.
try again later.
And add it on my.
Right, yeah, that was new for me too. That's good.
it was
Well,
a problem in the beginning.
We'll push out more information on Zip Whip if you guys want to do it, or if like, hey, phone.com's good enough, then that's fine. But certainly, if it helps you out, then let's, it's a minimal
And I think
cost.
that another thing that's good is, before we found it, if I'm not there and they hired 2 people, the last thing I do at the end of the day or first thing in the morning is I go in there and everything's uploaded, interview questions, their availability, everything's in there. So I try to go in there every day and see, we don't hire every day, I wish we did, to see this, who this person is, what their availability is, what their skill set is, and that way I always know who they're talking about, and I try to stay so involved because, if I need to schedule something or somebody calls in sick, we don't throw that on the scheduler. If you take a sick call, you freaking staff it. I mean, it's not, it always doesn't need to go to cancel. So I don't want to be this dumb person that's like, and I make them all do that. Know the caregivers, know their skill set, know their qualifications, know their preferred work schedule, so that we're not constantly asking stupid questions, Well, can you work an overnight with somebody that's a full transfer and they're a 20-year-old green caregiver that doesn't know what transfer means, And so that is, we have to take responsibility and take that seriously so that if we have to step in, if they ask us a question, we constantly are in this, we know we're not separated from our business. And that makes them have respect for you, I think, too. I know everything. I may not have seen their face, but I know. I'm not saying it's a good idea, you don't have to take on call, to take it for a week,
All fun, what's going on?
I mean, I had to do that looking until vacation, and it was like a reminder, this one sucks. Like, it was, I hated it, but it gave me a new appreciation for Chantel, but also a gift to drag me back into that, these are our characters. We know our clients because we do the intake, we don't always know our characters.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I'm done, I'm off the call. That is just
Good. Any questions from our Zoomers?
Hey, Craig.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry. I'm in quiet. So just to make sure I'm understanding, when you're using this feature, the Zip Whip, I know you're going to bring out more information about it later, but when you guys are using, are you saying you're allowing access to your caregivers so they can communicate with family members?
No, it's only responding to the office phone number. So we try to discourage any communication between caregivers and families, try to run it through us. If they need information, they, share the portal and access care if they want to leave some care notes or anything for the family to see. We try to intercept any of the direct communication.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure, because we use phone.com. Ours is pretty smooth, and I get every text message coming through.
Okay, so it's working well. Okay, so you like phone.com. Okay. Were you going to add something, Claudia?
I was just going to say, when I'm going out to do an intake, I usually call them to let them know I'm headed that way, make sure we're still okay. And sometimes they don't answer, and they call the office. I send a Zip Whip message while I'm doing it. So I send a Zip Whip message and say, hi, this is Claudia, just letting you know I'm headed your way. And then everyone in the office sees that message. So when that person calls, they're like, Claudia was just calling to let you know she's on her way. So it's not because it's a lead. Nobody knows his name. They're like, someone just called me from this number. It was Claudia. It was like a regular Claudia. They totally know she's on her way.
We are finding out, like we are finding more and more, particularly children of our clients, they're texting us now. They're texting Zip Whip to ask if who's coming or, what. I don't like it, but that, texting has become our world, even to our clients. But it's been a lot tighter with yeah.
Hey, one other question. I was asking Bo. So I do get text messages from phone.com, but if the caregiver, if she texts the office or somebody texts the office number, it comes to us by text. But if Tasha replies back to the text, only Tasha sees that. On Zip Whip, does everybody see?
Yeah, I mean,
I do like that.
So, and it even tells you at the bottom. So, Pam sent this, and it's always in blue what the caregiver sends back. And so you can see Pam sent this back, and Chantel, the
So you can
scheduler,
see what they've seen and they
sent
can
us
see what you've
initial,
seen.
send the initial text, and then we can all see what she replied back. And then Chantel responded, and then she responded, and Pam responded, so, you can see exactly who.
Ours comes through like that. And it'll say, it doesn't give us the number, so we have to search by the number.
The other thing too is, like, when you're,
Somebody replied, but I don't
like,
think it's
when you're off, we do try to come off, you can choose, like, I have this with, I can see it, but it's not showing, like, for me to go and read it. But if you're off, you're not, so from there.
That was my next thing. I don't, okay.
Yeah, and it's like, no text, no text.
Good.
We all are larger office. I've always said I should be dealing with a larger office.
Good. That's great.
I can turn it
A whole lot of work when I get back.
like I've had it on the entire time, I can still see it, but I'm not going to, and it's just a little ding, even when it's on, but it's not like filter constantly blowing up the clock.
And it's easy because I'm not like a person.
Just like.
I can do that.
Because, the other thing, is if you're if you are trying to